HHDG.
Peace, HHDG. We're on another episode of HHDG Media podcast. Shout out to everyone right now tuning in through our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook group, HHDG. That stands for Hip Hop Discussion Group. As always, HHDG Media is also accompanying HHDG Media Inc., and that consists of myself, Wiki, Rock Vader KB, T Smith, the Mayor, and the Skelly Top. As you can see on the bottom banner, you can go check out our website, hhdgmedia.com, for the latest music, written interviews. We also put up our past live interviews that are on our YouTube channel, as well as our merch. For tonight, we have a talent coming out of Columbus, Ohio, producer who has shown that through his enjoyment of, I guess you could say, like for many of us, nerdcore, he loves the video games, the anime, cartoons, science fiction, and with his love of what was just mentioning, it shows in his production. Part of hip hop is it's limitless, so it doesn't always have to be a soul sample. And our guest for tonight is an example of doing just that. And with that being said, he shows his true love of what I mentioned through his production and his beat tapes and his new project, As the Gear Turns, that was released last month. If you're a fan of certain series like Lupin the Third or the film Akira, you'll definitely enjoy what he's been doing throughout the years. And the more I listen to him, the more I can see that he's pushing himself to elevate his production skills. I mean, they're already there, but as with most talented people, no matter what it is that their skill, their craftsmanship is in, you always got to be able to push yourself to see what other creativity you can bring about. And he continues to do that. Now, we're going to definitely talk about his latest album, As the Gear Turns, because this is his first album where he showcases his production with a heavy list of MCs that definitely fit into the mold of his style of production. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce SteamBoi.
What up? What up?
Peace.
How you doing?
Doing good.
And might I say, you look a lot better without that neck brace, sir. A lot
Appreciate
better.
that. Yeah,
and also, I'm sorry. Also, I gotta say, that intro beat, it is a banger, man. Who does that? Who did the beat for that?
If I remember correctly, that is our very own Rock Vader KB.
Shout out to him, because that beat is a banger. I really, really enjoyed listening to it whenever I play one of your videos.
Definitely. I'll definitely let him know about that.
So how's it going?
Doing good. Like what I'm seeing in the background over there.
Hey, well, thank you. And also your intro. I mean, whoo, man. I really don't know what to say. I mean, like, thank you for that introduction. I mean, I really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You know, as a as a listener and seeing someone else that's into similar things, when you hear their music, it brings you a certain type of joy to know that there's someone else out there that is incorporating that into the music. It doesn't always happen. And like I was saying in the beginning, most people, when it comes to boom bap, are going to think of soul samples. But like I said, hip hop is limitless. So you can use pretty much anything. It doesn't even have to be music to become music.
Exactly. Very true. And yeah, like you said, I mean, I don't listen to just soul music. I mean, anything that grabs my attention, I'm gonna make a I'm going to make a beat out of it. I mean,
Mhm.
going back to like man, it's kind of funny because next year will be 10 years of me making music. I mean, just thinking about that is like crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I just really, really enjoy making hip hop. I mean,
Mhm.
originally when I first started out, I wanted to be a DJ, but then I kind of realized, not really fit for the tables. But
Okay.
it was more about the beats. I mean, I
Mhm.
just love hearing beats, and that usually captures my attention when it comes to a hip hop song, like the beat, like who did the beat, and I listen to the MCs like next, but to me, it's always about the beat first.
Yeah, I'm definitely the same way with that. I've always been a fan of instrumentation, which is why I still have a big love of jazz music.
Ah, jazz, man. I mean, I'm grateful that it's still here, but when I was thinking, like going back to when I was younger, I wasn't really a particular big fan of jazz music. I
Mhm.
mean, originally, I mean, I was young and dumb. I thought it was kind of a little, boring. But thanks to a certain anime, kind of changed my mind about jazz music, and now I'm like a diehard fan. And I'm pretty sure you know which anime I'm talking about. Uh oh. Oh, I thought you were pulling out a record or something.
Now I was looking around. I might have had some. I was wondering if you might have been talking about
Yes,
Cowboy
sir.
Bebop.
That's the one. That's the one. Shout out to the GOAT, Yoko Kano. Oh my god, man. I mean, what can I say about her? I mean, she's like a legend, a living legend. Just the way she like puts together, I mean, those like the score, I mean, for that
Hmm.
anime. I mean, Tank alone. Just the moment you hear that, ba-dum, 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 I mean, like,
That's it. You already know.
it's like you're in for a ride. I mean, I just love that show and that music. So like, but yeah, I mean, I just and since then I've just been listening to like a lot of jazz like since high school. I mean, I just really enjoy listening to jazz music.
Now, you said it was boring to you before. What made it boring back then?
Well, well, what I mean by boring, I mean that it's kind of like the sound is kind of slow. You know, it's not really like going anywhere. But back then, my first exposure to jazz was Miles Davis's "So What." Like back then, I didn't like really understand it because it was so slow.
Hmm.
But then, like probably like a year later, I listened to it again, and then it hit me. I was like, oh, now I get it because you're conveying a feeling. You know,
Hmm.
you're basically just sitting down, not caring about anything, just like the track title. So what? I mean, like you don't have any worries about around you. You just just let the music control you and don't worry about anything else around you except the music.
Yeah,
And
there
then
you go.
I started getting into more like faster jazz and and then
Right.
acid jazz and then like
And then the big bands.
yep.
Hmm. Mm. So Miles Davis, that's where your love of the trumpet came from.
Yes, and actually, he was actually my first jazz artist I was exposed to because he had the same initials as my name. That was the reason why I picked him first. But yeah, I mean, Miles Davis, that dude. I mean, the more I got into his music, I mean, that
Mhm.
guy was a genius.
Yeah,
I mean, he pretty much didn't take anything from nobody. He just did things his own way, and that's what I really appreciate about his work.
yeah. My favorite Miles album is Sketches of Spain.
I haven't peeped that one yet. The only ones I remember I have are Kind of Blue
Mm.
and do you remember Aura? It came out in
Or
the 80s. Like each
I might have to check that one again.
yeah, like each track was named after a different color. So like
That's right. Yeah.
yes, but that was like a really good experimental jazz album. But like I said, the dude just did things his own way. He didn't pretty much care what anyone told him. You had to do it this way. Like, no, I'm gonna do it
Hmm.
like this. And whether they like it or they love it, I'm gonna just do it for me, and that's it. And that's what I really appreciate about that guy.
They say a lot of musicians see things in colors, like they see colors,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a lot of musicians that really like hone in on their skills with certain instruments,
Mm-hmm.
whatever before they got really good at it or knew what those colors were. Now it makes so much sense, and it's like everything is just fluid and effortless to them now.
Exactly. Very true.
So when you just mentioning that you were being reminded that your first beat tape, Strange Nature, is about to be
Mm.
a
Come on,
decade.
come on. Yep. My very first beat tape. I mean, I man, that really takes me back. Um, I mean, what can I say about it? I mean, that was pretty much my first exposure to the world, and and if you allow me, can I talk a little bit about it?
Absolutely, go ahead. That's what you're here for.
All right. So, Strange Nature came out in January 2014. My God, just saying that date just makes me feel so ah, I hate getting old. Anyway, Strange Nature, man. It was basically a tribute to a very, very underrated anime called Mushishi. And I just found that anime like 10 years ago, like on a whim. I mean, I saw the trailer for it from another anime DVD I owned. I
Mhm.
forgot which one. So then, so then I decided to check it out. First episode, okay, pretty good. But then probably by 5 episodes in, I'm starting to get the story. There is no story. Like each episode is its own contained story.
Mhm.
And I really like the vibe about that. But more importantly, what really drew me into the anime was the music. And it is so relaxing. And to my surprise, I came to find out the composer of the Mushishi anime was Toshio Masuda. And for those who don't know that name, he was the composer of Naruto.
Mhm.
Yeah, so for all those who've actually seen the show Naruto, you'd see how it's real fast and real hard and real like hard rock and all that. But for Mushishi, it is completely different. It is so laid back, so chill. It it the music sounds like you're actually in Japan back in feudal times, and that really spoke to me. And I really wanted to make a beat tape that reflected that because it was so chill. I mean, man, and also the music is just beautiful by itself. I mean, you don't even have to watch the show. Just listen to the soundtrack. It is
Hmm.
so amazing, so chill, and that's what I wanted to bring that out with my music and for the beats.
And even the main character,
Ginkgo.
Ginkgo,
Mm-hmm.
that was his character. That was the way he was too. He was very
Yep.
laid back.
Very laid back. I mean, and basically like for those who don't know Mushishi is about Ginkgo, who is a Mushi master, and he kind of goes around throughout Japan trying to solve problems with these mystical creatures called Mushi. They're not necessarily bad, but they're not necessarily good evil. They're just
Hmm.
there because they exist. So it's kind of like um, a Japanese version of Ghostbusters, but he doesn't use a proton cannon. But he has like certain methods to get rid of them, not
Yeah,
necessarily kill them, just either like relocate them to a different place because
yeah,
he doesn't believe in like killing creatures who are just there because they exist. You know.
yeah. Mm. So when you decided to make the beat tape, um, what was your approach? Like, how did you come about the whole creative process for it?
Oh well. Hmm. Hmm. Well, basically, I just went through the soundtrack, went through each track that I like personally, and pretty much just chopped it up into like the parts that I liked,
Hmm.
and probably throw in a drum break in there because I love drum breaks, or just make my own drum patterns and according to the beat. And I tried to be a little specific with my drum patterns if it pertains to the actual beat. I tried to do different styles or like different patterns if it pertaining to the beat.
Okay. And then what about the track list?
Oh, for Strange Nature.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those were just titles that I just came up with like according to the show because like each track contains a clip from the show.
Hmm.
So like each track would contain the soundtrack to the episode. So what I would do, I'll watch the episode, try to take a small clip from that episode and throw it onto the beat. So like each track is like its own like episode in a way. But like I said, like I would either like make my own drum pattern or throw in a drum break, and I would just try to make it I want the way I wanted to sound, you know.
Hmm.
And that's basically the process I had for that. But if I could find the, um the soundtrack for the second season, I would definitely make a Strange Nature too, because I would love to go back into that world.
Now you're gonna make me go and try and dig for it too. All right. So, do you recall your very first anime? And did you know it was anime when you saw it?
How much time do you have again? Yes, I do. I actually happen to remember how old I was when I first saw it. Okay, so going back in time to when I was 6 years old, it was on a weekend, and for some reason I decided to get up, just get out of bed, go to the bathroom, and go back to sleep. But for some reason I wasn't sleepy, so
Mhm.
I turned the TV on, flipping channels, and then I see this one anime. But back then I didn't know it was an anime. I just thought it was another cartoon. So then I see this one cartoon of a little boy with a mop top head. The sky was all green, and he was getting beaten the crap out of by a big behemoth with red hair. I mean, he was like wailing on the little boy. And then all of a sudden, this one warrior in an orange jumpsuit with weird spiky hair, he saves him, and I find out that's his son.
Mhm.
So then the dude with the orange jumpsuit pretty much takes down the big gorilla with the red hair in one blow. And they're like, wait a minute, what is this? And then I see the end credits, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So then next week, I actually set my alarm this time so I don't miss it. And that was my first exposure to Dragon Ball Z. But then get this. The next episode that I start, they go all the way back to the first episode where Raditz first landed on Earth.
Oh.
So I didn't see like what happened next. But
you're just jumping all around.
yeah, but I wasn't too upset because then
Uh-huh.
I can actually, see the journey of how they got to that point. But I didn't know it would be that long, because I actually saw Dragon Ball Z before it got on Toonami,
Mhm.
So I had, and I think it was on like a Fox channel, like here in Ohio.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my first exposure to anime, and since then, I've been watching anime literally like all my life. Like, are you familiar? Do you remember Saturday anime on the Sci-Fi Channel back when it was Sci-Fi?
Sci-fi, yeah.
Not when it was not Sci, not SYFY.
But the way most people have sent it out decades, SCI. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to me
I
that's
remember.
Sci-Fi Channel.
Yep.
And I was pretty much exposed to Project Echo,
There you go.
Akira. There's one. I think there's one OVA called Green Legend Ran, but I only saw it once. But I completely forgot about it. And there's another anime I remember called Area, the animation about this one female bounty hunter looking for a demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking for like a demon who killed her older brother. But I gotta find that again because I haven't seen that one in a minute. Yeah, and then of course we had Toonami, and once I saw Gundam Wing, I mean, like that was it. I was a Gundam fan for life, and I've pretty much been looking for every single Gundam, and I've seen most of them, even like the original.
Nice.
And then like my anime love kind of went deeper outside of Toonami, so I pretty much had to like go to like Media Play. I don't know if you remember that.
Yep. I work in IT, so I remember Windows work groups.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, so then I pretty much discovered new anime like I haven't even seen before, like Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yeah.
Whew, man, that's a doozy. That is a doozy of an anime. I would not recommend that as a first anime for anyone who wants to like start anime. Do not watch Evangelion first, because once you do, you're going to assume all anime is like that, and you're going to hate it. So don't do that. Yeah. So I have. I mean, as you can see in my room, I mean, I am a big fan of anime, and that has been like part of me like my entire life, and is also a big part of my music as well.
It definitely shows, yeah. Yeah, my first anime was actually something that my father used to watch. It was old black and white, Gigantor.
Ah, I remember that. I think they used to show that on, I believe it was USA Network back in the 90s, like a long time ago, but I do remember Gigantor.
Yeah. And then you were speaking on Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine in high school is who put me on to Dragon Ball back then, and this is when he had VHS tapes. Now they call them fan subs. Um, at that time, these fan subs were pretty much recorded directly from TV. So you know how now when we watch anime and it gets to that cutoff point where they show like the title and then it
Mm-hmm.
cuts to the next portion,
Yeah.
that part would actually be where they start showing the Japanese commercials. So we were watching Dragon Ball and seeing all the commercials from Japan at the same time.
Hmm. I could have, I mean, I haven't seen any fan subs, but I do remember watching Dragon Ball Z in Japanese on the international channel. Now this was when I was in high school.
Mhm.
And I remember it so clearly. So this was during the the Android saga. And so basically every Sunday I would watch Dragon Ball Z in English, but unfortunately I had no subtitles. So I pretty much was watching it in Japanese. I didn't understand what they were saying. So I pretty much had to like figure out what was going on by watching it. But I kind of got what was going on, even though I didn't understand the language. But yeah, I mean, if is that kind of like how fan subs were back then?
No, they were still subtitled, but the whole pretty much the term fan sub was these were people like ourselves that actually took the time to actually go and give English subtitles. So sometimes the English subtitles weren't, fluent as if it was a English speaking person, but they put a lot of work into these fan subs. And then sometimes certain words that you couldn't translate into English properly, they'd have a little quote trying to explain it as well.
Well, props to them. Props to them. I would have loved to see those back then. I don't know. I guess I must have missed it at the time. But I mean, English translation for anime has gotten somewhat better in a way. I mean, I can watch some anime in English or Japanese, but it's just a matter of preference,
Yeah. I'm stuck with watching in this original language, and I guess part of that is also because growing up watching the old martial arts films that were English dubbed, and then later on in I probably say more like the late 80s, I started seeing more of the martial arts obscure ones that they weren't showing on Saturday afternoons on TV that were actually subtitled in like Mandarin and Cantonese, usually Mandarin though, and just used to watching things in the original, and kind of it gives an appreciation of trying to understand another culture. Because now I watch all types of international stuff from different countries, different continents and stuff, and I have no problem watching it in their original language.
And also watching international movie in the original language actually helps with the story. Like perfect example, Once Upon a Time in China with Jet Li.
Yeah.
You cannot watch that in English. You have to watch it in in its I believe it was in Mandarin. Well, in its original language, because it helps with the story. Because from what I remember, Jet Li's character, he didn't understand English, and an American woman from the States came to his country, I believe, trying to cut like a deal, but he couldn't speak her language, so you can't watch a movie like that in English. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for the story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to stick too much on the anime right now, but we have to address your first time watching Akira, and it was at the end. Just how did that happen?
Okay, so again, going back to watching Akira on Sci-Fi Channel back in the early 90s.
Okay.
This must have I think they played Akira, I think around like 10 in the morning, and that's when I got up late. So once again, getting up late, flip the TV on, flip the channels, and then all of a sudden I see the ending of, well, kind of close to the ending, where Tetsuo turned into that big blob monster. And that was the only thing I remembered. So like, wait a minute, that's it? And then like you know how it ends, and that's pretty much how I watched it. So then for years I've been trying to find a way to like watch it, but I couldn't have a source. So then once I got a little older, I finally found the DVD, watched it from beginning to end, and then I get it. This anime movie was one of the reasons why it is one of the biggest anime movies of all time, including Ghost in the Shell and Ninja Scroll. So, and also the music to that really, really was incredible. I mean, I've never heard anything like that, like in anything animated. And that told me, you know what, you got to make a beat tape to this. And so that's when I decided to make capsules. And I actually had a fun time making it. Although there were some tracks that were a little tricky trying to flip, because I was trying to like be experimental with some of the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I believe one track came up to mind, if I'm not mistaken, was give me a minute. I haven't revisited in a while. It's like let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see.
I'm gonna put capsules link in the bio in the comments. Cool. Everyone go check that out.
Okay. It was Idle Playthings, because I did like lots and lots of chops to that, like for that particular sample, and I had it to and I wanted to find a way to like make a melody out of it, but it was a little tricky though. But once I got it, like that was it. So I really, really enjoyed the music for Akira.
You mentioned on your summary for capsules that each track was something different happening.
Yep, like a capsule.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, I didn't even know that was the name of Kaneda's gang. So then, like, oh, okay, I'll rock with that. and also like going back to now that you brought up capsules, something like that just hit me. For the longest time, ever since I put out that that album, no one has even bothered to ask me what DAB stood for. Like track 2. And like I'm surprised, because it stood for dope ass bike. Yeah, Kaneda's bike. I mean, who didn't want Kaneda's bike? I mean, it was so cool. And also that slide, it is like you see it like everywhere. I mean, like these
everywhere,
days.
Yeah.
I mean, like you can't deny it. I mean, that's the I mean, that's the impact that movie has and still has to this very day.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember someone doing a whole compilation of that with a different
scene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I've seen that compilation as well. Very well put together. I liked it.
So next we're gonna talk about um Lupin the Third.
Ah,
I think this is one of your favorite projects right here. SteamBoi
yes,
versus Lupin the Third.
yes, yes, it is. So, Lupin the Third. I'm still disappointed he's not up there with one of the greats, with your Dragon Ball Z's and your Naruto's and your Demon Slayers and your My Hero Academias. He should be up there because he literally was. He came out from, okay. First off, he came up from the '70s, yo,
Mm-hmm.
the '70s, and still at it today, still making new series. Man, I've been a fan of Lupin the Third for a long time. Okay, so pretty much how I got to Lupin the Third, very easy. Okay, so this is me in high school right now, and this is taking me back. This takes me back to 2001 when I saw a teaser for Lupin the Third on Adult Swim, and so I see this one commercial about this one weird goofy guy in a red coat, pulling off these heists, and I was like, huh, what is this? So then I see the first episode and I immediately started dying. I mean, this show was like incredible. Man. I mean, so okay, for your audience, for those who don't know what Lupin the Third is, so basically Lupin the Third it is an anime franchise started by the late great Monkey Punch, who created a character that was fictionally the grandson of the gentleman burglar Arsene Lupin. So Lupin the Third, he pretty much is considered the world's greatest thief. Like
Mm-hmm.
no one can catch him, and basically he does all these heists just for fun. I mean, he doesn't do it just to get money. Well, some situations he does it, for money, but he wants to do it for the challenge.
Yeah.
And his three partners, Daisuke Jigen, a very skillful gunman, Koyaman Ishikawa, the world's greatest swordsman who has a sword that can cut through anything,
Okay.
and Fujiko Mine, the femme fatale who always uses her body to get what she wants. And even though she's a good sharpshooter, she's really more of Lupin's rival because she tends to work against him than with
Mm-hmm.
him. But they have this one weird relationship that's very entertaining to me. And and lastly, my man, Detective, actually Inspector Zenigata, who's basically made it his life mission to put Lupin behind bars,
Yeah.
and he never catches him. But the way I see it, the thing between Lupin and Zenigata, I just see that as Tom and Jerry, or Wally Coyote and Roadrunner. He never catches them, but that's not going to stop him, and that just makes for great entertainment.
Yeah.
And this franchise has been going along for years and years and years. And another good thing why I love Lupin the Third so much is the music. The great composer himself, Yuji Ono, who's been making music for Lupin the Third since the '60s and is still making music for Lupin. I mean, I think this dude is still like in his 80s right now.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that a talent like him can still go at it with this one franchise, that's incredible. So I've been trying to put this project together for nearly 7 years. Okay, so this timeline. Okay, originally, I tried to put it together back in think 2016.
Mhm.
I had the blueprints laid out for it. I had the beats worked out, but some of my features didn't really pan out the way I wanted to.
Okay.
So I kind of put it on the sideline for a couple years and just and then just focus on other things. So then when I was well established, fully set and ready. I got some new features onto it, and then got some clips, and then shoot, that was it. And also, as something a little lucky happened to me a couple years ago, I went to an anime convention and I actually met Tony Oliver, the English dub actor for Lupin the Third himself. I actually sat down and actually talked to him for like 30 minutes about anything, just random stuff. Some of the roles he'd been in. I mean, this guy is like a legend. I mean, he played I believe Rick Hunter from Robotech, if I'm not mistaken.
I'd have to check that one.
Yeah, another 80s anime in the mecha genre, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I was talking about him doing the English.
Oh yeah, and honestly, Lupin the Third's English dub is quite possibly one of my favorite English dubs of any anime. I mean, each character for the English dub is just perfect, and it is just so funny, man. I mean, it is. I mean, oh man, it is just like really funny. I mean, don't let the Japanese yes, the Japanese is good, but the English dub, I think it's like bar and bar, like equally as good as the Japanese. And for like so going back to my SteamBoi versus Lupin the Third project, it's just basically a mix of instrumentals and some features I wanted to like throw into the mix. So like so since I'm from Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, exact, I had to get some of my people on, like my man Vaughn, who I met a couple years ago. Really good MC. His cousin J Peace, who I believe is his cousin, and then also like for another feature, I also got my man Ann Hobbs. Man, Ann Hobbs, that was like my brother, man. We've been working together for almost like 6 years at this point. Like almost every project I've released so far has a feature from him on with it. Like and some of the tracks for my Lupin the Third project, I asked them to do a track in the perspective of the character. So like for Ann Hobbs's track, Trench Coats and Cuffs, he basically was spitting from the perspective of Inspector Zenigata. And really good track too with some cuts from my man Bill Beats. And also from from that project, I got my man Aramis 616 from Green Rapids, Michigan. He also did a track based on from this perspective of Lupin, and pretty much all the other features they were just like I just told them just spit whatever you want, but just throw in some references to Lupin, and I think it came out pretty well. And also, each track from my Lupin the Third project is named after an item Lupin has either stolen or he plans to steal. So I'm really proud of that project. So, and like you said, it is one of my favorites I've done so far.
Yeah, I noticed that when I first listened to that, had a track list, because I like to pay attention to the track list, see how it intertwines with the whole overall direction of the project. And that was one of the things that definitely stuck out when I noticed it, being that I had watched Lupin the Third.
Hey man, I mean, it's a classic, man. I'm a Lupin the Third fan for life.
So what do you think of the Netflix series?
Oh shoot, that's like one of my favorites of all time. Even though it's not related to Lupin the Third himself, it's more like well, for those who don't know like what we're talking about, Netflix has a live action series called Lupin, So it's about a very, very skillful thief named Hassan Diop. He basically is on a quest to avenge his father, who was wrongfully accused of stealing this one rich family, and apparently he got killed because of it. So, as a way of getting back at this family, Hassan has the book of Arsene Lupin, the
Mhm.
original gentleman thief, that actually takes and gets some tips and some advice on how to be an excellent master thief in order to take down this family. And man, since episode one, I was like hooked. I mean, I love the show. I love the music. I love the characters. I love the story.
Yeah.
It's in my opinion, it's one of Netflix's best international foreign shows,
Mhm.
hands down. And I so cannot wait for season 4 to come out. And I know they're going to do a season 4 because people still keep talking about it. And if they don't renew for another season, they're tripping. For
I
those who
agree,
have not,
but
yeah.
you know
So
how
for
Netflix is, though. You just
yeah,
never know.
yeah. But seriously though, for those who haven't seen Lupin on Netflix, please check it out. You will not be sorry. It is really, really good. And also, don't watch it in English. Watch it in French because
Yep.
that's the natural language. It fits. It works. I watch it in French. I don't have a problem with it. Watch it in French. Don't watch it in English.
Definitely agree on that. Now, being it is Christmas time, even though this wasn't really a Christmas themed beat tape of yours,
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about it's a Peanuts beat tape, Charlie Brown.
Ah. Ah. Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. What a what a lovable poor soul that boy is. I mean, I love Peanuts, man. I mean, how can you not love Peanuts, man? Charlie Brown, the icon himself, Snoopy, Peppermint Patty, Sally, Linus, Lucy. That is just a legendary comic strip, man. I mean, Charles Schultz really put himself out in that strip,
Yeah.
and that cartoon and those animated specials. I mean, what can you say about it? I mean, a Charlie Brown Christmas. That is like a iconic Christmas special. And also the music itself from the late great Vince Guaraldi.
Yeah.
I mean Linus and Lucy. Once you hear the opening like notes, you already know what it is. And I've been like a fan of his music for Peanuts for a long, long time. And one of my friends actually recommended me to actually do a beat tape for Peanuts. And I said, okay, I'll do that. So then I went into all my Peanuts music that I had, just found the best songs for me to try to flip, and then throw in some clips of Peanuts onto it,
Hmm.
and then boom, there it is. And and the title itself, I originally I wanted to call it the Peanuts beat tape, but considering how like things always have Charlie Brown at the end, I just wanted to call it it's a Peanuts beat tape Charlie Brown, to keep up with the overall theme of like a Charlie Brown special,
I get it.
told through hip
Hmm.
hop. But yeah, I'm also really, really proud of that one too.
Has the equipment that you created Strange Nature with changed to what you've done with your new album as the gear turns?
Nope. Been using the
Okay.
exact same laptop for 10 years. And it's still good. kind of and something I kind of learned from Apollo Brown, one of my favorite producers.
Mhm.
He's been using the exact same software for a long time, and it hasn't
Yeah.
failed him yet. So, hey, if it still works, use it. I mean, I will only change something if I feel like I've reached its limit. But so far, I haven't hit it yet. So I'm still using this exact same laptop.
Okay.
Even actually using the laptop I'm talking to you right now with. So far, it has not failed me yet.
That's dope.
Thank you, thank you.
You don't hear that too often, but I'm pretty sure you maintain a backup of that.
Come on, I have to. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm
I have
pretty.
to. That is like a very, very, very important thing when making music. You gotta have backup.
Yeah, too many horror stories.
Yeah, and I'm afraid to listen to them.
Mm. So let's get into the origin of your name and your alias, Black Gear.
Okay. Funny, funny thing though, my original name wasn't SteamBoi. When I first started making beats, I went with the name Mudstone. I just thought, was trying to find, an interesting name to differentiate myself from other producers.
Mhm.
And I ran with that name for like a good, probably like a year. No, actually, no, 2 years. But then all of a sudden, I go on YouTube, I find another artist named Mudstone, a rock band.
Uh,
So in order to avoid copyright and
yeah.
all that crap, you know what? Let me just start over, start with a new name. And I was trying to find a name that was kind of different. So one day I watched the Katsuhiro Otomo movie, SteamBoi. Really, really good movie. Kind of underrated, but I still enjoyed the movie. And by the time I finished watching it, like its name stuck out to me because for those who don't know the movie SteamBoi, it's about a little boy who's trying to protect his grandfather's invention from going to the wrong hands,
Thanks. Yeah. Hmm.
and that kind of spoke to me. So for my style of music, I want to for SteamBoi me, I want my music to you know evolve, but don't forget like what brought us here because I love boom bap. Have been a fan of boom bap, always will love boom bap. I'm not going to abandon it. But I feel like boom bap is kind of starting to fade away and I don't want to do that. So for SteamBoi, my music, I want my music to, pertain the elements
Hmm.
of what brought hip hop here to this point, which started off with boom bap. You have, and the original elements, b-boying, graffiti, MCing, and my personal favorite element, DJs. So that's what SteamBoi means. And also the alias Black Gear, I actually kind of got that from Madlib. He always have all these aliases. You
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
Madlib the Bad Kid, B Conductor, Loop Digger.
Yeah.
So so Black Gear, it just came out of actually it just came out of nowhere, to be honest. I mean, my name, it kind of sounds a little like a steampunk. So when I was looking for some pictures for steampunk, the first thing that caught my eye was a small gear, and then boom, Black Gear. And that's pretty much how that came together.
There you go. Okay. And did you establish Black Gear Productions around the same time, or did that come later on?
That came later. It
Okay.
usually I actually went by um what did I go by? I used to go by SteamBoi Productions, but then I wanted to change that. So then once I discovered Black Gear, I just decided to go with Black Gear Productions and just went with that. And to me, that fit. Because like I'm always like, working, always putting in the grind. Like I'm always keep working, not stopping. Unless if I really need to, but I'm always going to keep on, keep working.
Yeah.
And putting my craft out.
Okay. Now, before we talk about the new album and some hip hop influences, is there anyone in your family that has influenced you?
Wow. I'll probably have to say my biggest influence would be my father. He's like always working. I mean, like and we have like a great relationship, and he will always give me like really good advice. Always like put in time in your craft, no matter like how hard it gets, no matter how life beats you down. Don't lose your craft because your craft will eventually become you. So he always tells me, don't give up in what you're doing, and that pretty much like inspired me to actually keep going. And for my mother, she always tells me to be humble and be respectful to everyone, because eventually that humble and respectfulness will come back to you. And because of that, I've made so many good friends from hip hop, and with the features I've got. And I also have two younger brothers who like mean the world to me. And yeah, they've also played a big influence with me as well as huh, I really don't know what I could say about them. I mean, they're just good kids. I mean, really good kids who like who help keep me grounded. I don't want I don't have a big ego, but I sometimes have a little bit of a temper, but they just keep me grounded. And I guess I look at them, I just calm myself, and then everything is like any problem I had completely gone. So my family has been like a really big influence to me, and I appreciate them very dearly for that.
That's dope. Now I'm gonna show an album, and you're gonna tell me about this. This is 5D's fourth album.
Hey man. Yo, man, if you had him on 5D's first album, I would have been like very impressed. but Communicator, that's also a very good album. Man. Okay. Before I get to the main influence, I gotta talk about some of my my other influences. My favorite producers like ever. Of course, you got your standards. You have hold up. I actually happen to have a list, but I'll just go to the real quick. Oh, hold on. Oh boy. Okay, so of course you have your standards. You have your premieres, Ninth Wonder, Madlib, Marco Polo. An underrated producer, like not many people talk about. Stoop, the Enemy of Mankind from Jedi Mind Tricks.
Mind Tricks.
Yeah, his work is like incredible. I mean, his production actually influenced me to get into orchestral music, because I've never heard about strings in hip hop before. Like the way he does it, it is like, yo, I want to try to learn how to do that. And then so naturally I got more of the strings, and then of course you got Static Selector. I mean, shoot. I mean, where haven't you heard of this dude? I mean, he's like everywhere, and he's like really good. Big fan of him. And I'm also a big fan of Snow Goons
from Germany. Yeah.
Yes. Oh man, that to me they're like okay. Now this is just my opinion. They're like this generation's beat miners. In a way.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, like you hear like real strong production, lots of cuts. I mean, I mean, they're like amazing. I already talked about Apollo Brown. Of course, you got RZA, big fan of Wu-Tang Clan, and
My
shoot.
hometown.
You from Staten Island?
Yep.
Hey, that's what's up. Also, congratulations on their Wu-Tang Day.
Oh, the residency. You heard about it? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a really good thing for them, and the way they celebrated their 30th anniversary of Enter the Wu-Tang, man, I still can't believe it's been 30 years this year that
Yeah.
monumental album dropped. Oh, actually, I was wondering, just sidetrack for a little bit for that album. What's your favorite track on that album?
My favorite track.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, on the debut.
Yeah, on Enter the Wu-Tang. I know it's tricky. I know.
I don't know. You know, because I'm still Protect Your Neck is the just
one that started it all.
Because because the way it started and hearing it and not knowing who they were, the whole aura around it, the mystery and everything, and the way they all just came on that track. You know, it still sticks in my head like it happened yesterday. First hearing it.
Yep. And what might surprise some people is my favorite track is Tears. Like that's my favorite beat on the whole album. I love RZA and Ghostface's lyrics, just telling like a story, like on that track, and the beat. Oh my god, I love that sample RZA flipped so much, so good. And okay, so another influence, a really big influence to my production is DJ Crush.
Ah.
Now I found him randomly, like in when I was in, I believe, I think I was in high school at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking through the hip hop section for some CDs, and then I see this one CD called DJ Crush Me Light. So this is my first time. I've never heard of this dude. So
still have it on CD.
Yep. So then I checked it out, put it in my car, and then immediately I was like, oh yeah, this is amazing. I need more of this dude. Like immediately. So then I've been like a huge fan of DJ Crush. Oh man. If only he could like do some I would love to hear his work in an anime one day. I think his style of production would like fit like a
it would. Yeah.
Yes, I would love to hear in the anime one day. So then another one of my favorite producers is LP. Shoot, man, what can I say? I mean, I didn't even I was a fan of Company Flow.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, just that first album, Fun Crusher Plus. Oh my god, bro! Just the way it starts off, Bad Touch Example. Are you kidding me? And then it just got better and better and better. I mean, my favorite track of the whole album. No, scratch that. I got two favorite tracks: Loon TNS and Info Kill 2. Oh my god, him and Big Just, they just went crazy on the lyrics. And you can't forget about DJ Mr. Len on the cuts.
Mr. Len, yes.
Oh my god.
Is crazy nowadays because me and him have two mutual friends. So I actually see him every once in a while.
Hey, yo, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
And then of course, he left Rockers to start Definitive Jux. Became a fan of that label like immediately. And but that's like another thing. That's like another story for another day. Another favorite producer of mine is Evidence.
Oh,
I am a diehard fan of Dilated Peoples. I mean, come on, man. That's like one of West Coast's best underground hip hop groups to me of all time. Evidence, Raka, and DJ Babu. Yo, man, he doesn't get enough credit for being an amazing DJ and producer.
No, not at all. And his house music production is ridiculous. People don't know about that part. I say this all the time. People need to go check the house music that he's made, the re-edits. Amazing work.
I don't think I'm too familiar on that one.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to it.
All right, please do.
Yeah.
And of course, when I'm talking about Dilated Peoples, you cannot talk about Dilated Peoples without talking about Alchemist. I mean, come on, man. I mean, like, he's already one of the GOATs. I mean, anyway, I could go on but for him. But next up we got Pete Rock. I mean, Troy. That's all I gotta say. That's it. And then Jay Dilla. You already know. Q-Tip. I mean, come on, man. Tribe Called Quest. That is like one of my all-time favorite groups, like in music, not just hip hop, just music in general. I mean, like the way they put down their legacy. I mean, it's going to last like a long, long time, man. And also, rest in peace to Fife, man. I still remember the day when I found he passed away. So on the day he passed away, I was sleeping. One of my best friends actually called me in the middle of the night, told me he passed away. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I couldn't believe it. So then I go online, and then I just went in the bathroom and just cried, man. I mean, it really hit me that hard, man. I mean, I love that group. I mean, Butter. That's like, to me, one of the best Tribe songs like ever. And one of the best verses from Fife ever. I mean, you can just picture it. All the stuff he's been saying on that track. It is like incredible. Yeah, but still, rest in peace to Fife, dog, man. And two more. I'm a big fan of Blockhead from New York.
Yes, who dropped a dope new album.
The Ox. I've heard that. Incredible album. That guy just does not miss. I discovered him. See. Oh shit! I remember how I discovered him. I discovered him through Aesop Rock, like from his early days. His first if I remember, his album he did with Mush Records. Oh my God, Float. Okay. Whew.
Yep.
Phenomenal production from that dude, and like an amazing producer in his own right. I mean, like his first solo album, Music by K-Flight. Oh my God, that is like, people go listen to that album, Music by K-Flight. It is an amazing album if you love instrumental hip hop. Insomniac Olympics. Oh my God, just listen to that album, man. It is like incredible. And listen to him. He's just like a big like talent in himself. And my final influence, Nujabes. I mean, come on, man. Just the name, like, you already know like how much like he means to like anyone who does lo-fi music or listens to lo-fi music. And honestly, shoot, I never even heard of the name Nujabes if I didn't watch Samurai Champloo first. I mean, shoot. When I found out he passed away, that hit me hard, man. It was like really sad, man. But his legacy will live on through his music.
Absolutely. It continues, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And also, since you pulled up that 5Ds album, the guy who got me into beat making to begin with, Fat John, the Ample Soul Physician. Oh my God, man. To me, okay, this is just me. He is my all-time favorite hip-hop producer of all time. Number one to me. I mean, and the funny thing is, I found out about Fat John before Samurai Champloo, because some of his music used to be on those Adult Swim bumps. You remember those?
Yeah.
Yep, and that's how I discovered Fat John and 5Ds. I mean, shoot. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Mhm. About to pull out some vinyl. Got something special.
Okay. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Since you brought up your record about 5Ds, let me take you down a little road trip if you remember these. You remember this one?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay. How about this one?
I got that on cassette.
Cassette, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to find this album for a long, long time. And when I finally got it, I was like, yes! Man, this album was so fucking good. Oh, I'm allowed to curse?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, cool. How about this one?
Is that the one? I'm trying to remember what track was on there. I do remember that cover. I was trying to think of a song that was on there.
Well, if you do, I mean, you should go back into it. This is another really good one. Okay, I'm not quite sure if you're familiar with this one. Afterthought.
I have that. Yep.
Ah, very, very good. Okay, how about this one? 108 starts.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Ah, very good. Okay, since you brought up 5Ds, gotta go with the original, the one that started it all.
Cool Motor.
Yeah. And I'm lucky because this one also has the instrumentals too.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And actually, it has some two bonus tracks I've never heard of. Blue Light Special and Dope. I don't know if you're familiar with those.
Remember Dope. I don't think I remember the other one.
Okay. This was like a pretty hard one to find. Slow Children Playing.
Yep. I remember that.
Yeah, when I first heard this one, I didn't know these were like all like stuff they did in the 90s. So I was like, wow, they really like they started like a long, long time ago. I really thought they started like in the 2000s, but I didn't know they've been doing it since the 90s.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And of course, I know you got this one. Kiki Nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And of course, you already showed it. Yeah. So I mean, Fat John. I mean, what can I say? I mean, the fact that he's also from Ohio, I was like, wow. I mean, I'm kind of bummed he don't live here no more. He lives in Germany, but just the fact that this dude was in Ohio and making beats like that, like yo, that pretty much just sparked. That pretty much just I gotta get into this now. So yeah, Fat John has been like a major influence like on me and to like actually get into making beats. I mean, I just love it so much. And if he hears this, Fat John, this is your fault. Okay, I blame you for me getting into music.
That's a good thing.
Yes, it is. It is. And also, I want to, since we're talking about Fat John, I also want to give a big shout out to Jay Rawls, who you've interviewed.
Yes, I have. Yep.
Yeah, man. And and remember, he used to have a group with Fat John. 3582.
3582.
I have those CDs as well. Incredible hip hop. I actually met J. Ross one time, like a few years ago, at a hip hop festival here. Amazing dude. I mean, this guy is like a legend. I mean, Lone Catalyst, even his own albums. This guy is like a legend. I mean, I really hope you interview him again soon.
Definitely, he has something coming up soon. I'll definitely, speak with him again. I mean, he's amazing, and he's a historian himself. He could talk about so many genres, just like off the top of his head.
I mean, the dude is a teacher and a doctor, so makes sense. Yeah. And also, before we go on, continue on, I gotta give a big shout out to Novelist and Hero, because if it wasn't for those two, we wouldn't even be doing this interview. I mean,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So shout out to Novelist.
Yes.
Yes, salute to y'all too. Big salute.
And also shout out Agent Smith from the group Triple of Trouble tuning in.
What up, Smith? How you doing, Bart? How you doing, buddy?
He was saying they has everything Father John has made on CD.
Father John, really?
Might have been a typo, but we know he.
Yeah, we know you're talking about.
He also say he influenced the way I format and sequence my tracks.
Ah, okay. That's what's up. Yeah, Fat John, man, he is like incredible, man. I mean, like, I'm not trying to sound biased, but his tracks for Samurai Champloo are my favorite from that show. I mean, I love Nujabes, I love Sushi, I love Force of Nature, but his tracks for Samurai Champloo, they're like my favorites. I mean, I just love that show, and like the music for like all of the composers. And also, speaking of composers, like I've really wanted, like I've really gotten more into like film score. I mean, like I'm not a composer myself. I mean, I just love listening to film scores. And with movies like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, like it's so incredible to actually incorporate hip hop into a score.
Yes.
Like you have the orchestration, you have the hip hop beats, you have a turntables. You're actually hearing cuts and scratches. Oh my god!
You saw that clip? Did you see that clip of them breaking it down from the recent Spider-Man?
I must have missed it. Is that on YouTube?
I think it was either on TikTok or Twitter.
I'll try to look for it. But yeah, we need more of it, man. We need more. And I'm really, really looking forward to the third Spider-Verse movie. I'm really, really excited for it. Definitely,
yeah. I mean, it's leaps and bounds above any type of animated feature films that they have out right now, because it's not just the visuals, it's the style that they put into it, the artwork with it, with the mesh, and then the whole Lego portion and how that came to be too, was how they integrated that is amazing.
Yep. It's almost hard to believe that's from the same studio that did the Emoji Movie. Yeah. But yeah, man. That movie is just like incredible. I mean, I really don't know what else to say about Spider-Verse and Miles Morales. Yeah.
Now let's get on to your latest your creation, your new creation, as the gear turns.
The main event. Okay. Huh. Okay. As the gear turns. So the title behind that, honestly, I just got that from Arsonist. Really. That's basically it. The first album, As the World Burns,
Mm-hmm.
you know, gear turning, as the
Yep.
gear turns. Shoot, that was it. And also, I've been wanting to do an album like that for like a long, long time because after listening to so many producer compilation albums, mostly in particularly Static Selecta, his albums is, I mean, it just like told me, you know what, you know how to make beats, you just gotta find the right artists to like to fit to those beats.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, since I've been making beats for a long time, I've managed to find such incredible people, very, very, very talented individuals to get onto my beats. And for that, I'm like, shoot, I'm like eternally grateful to all of them. So I mean, I don't know if you want to do like a track by track, like
Oh,
we did, like the feature.
absolutely. Yeah,
All
definitely.
right, let's do it. I mean, I don't want. Do you want to go in order? Like from.
Yeah. We'll stick to going through the order.
Okay, cool. Go ahead. Let's do it.
So before we even get into the first song,
Mm-hmm.
the intro with K Murdoch shouts out
Shout out.
RJG2 and Blueprint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shout out to K Murdoch, man. That's my big brother, man. I actually discovered him like a long, long time ago, even before I started making beats, because I was a big fan of his group Panacea with him and Raw
Mm-hmm.
Poetic.
Yep.
And I discovered them through undergroundhiphop.com, like before they changed the logo. Back when it was like I think it was like it looked like a graffiti.
Face.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah. And me and him, like the fact that I'm actually, friends with him, that's like, yo, is this actually I'm actually friends with a a producer who made incredible hip hop, and also he made one of my all time favorite nerdcore hip hops of all albums of all time with him and Megaran, Forever
Oh,
Famicom.
man. Amazon. Mm-hmm.
Yo, why did I hear this sooner? Why? And so I just had to ask him to like introduce this album though, and then being like the big brother he is, he said cool. So then he just recorded his thing, and then I guess made a beat over it, and I called it Case Intro because I wanted to surprise people. I mean, the first when they see the track list, they're gonna say, "Who's K?"
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of wanted to throw in a little mystery to the intro because I didn't even like put K's intro featuring K Murdoch. I just said K's intro because I wanted to like make
Mystery.
people yeah.
You like mystery, though. Sherlock
Yeah.
Holmes.
Hey, there you go. Shout out to my dear stalker V tape. Big fan of Sherlock Holmes. And that was even like before Robert Downey Jr. I was just like a big fan of Sherlock Holmes, like to begin with. Like, do you remember the cartoon Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century?
22nd century. I'd have to look it up to, remind myself.
Trust me, it's kind of ridiculous, but it's fun though.
Hmm.
But yeah, shout out to my man K Murdoch, man. That's my big brother, man.
And then on track 2, had High Post with Flyness in the Flesh.
Yes. So had to bring in some hometown homies. So Finest in the Flesh. I'm actually friends with the group lead with the leader Jay Messiah, a phenomenal MC. He told me he had a crew that he put together, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what's up. Would you mind if you guys do a feature? And they said like, sure, okay. So then I made this boom bap soulful beat. They got on it, did their thing, and I'm very 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 proud with the end result. Yeah. So, but shout out to Finance in the Flesh.
Mhm.
Phenomenal group. Y'all should check them out. Phenomenal group. Really, really good group.
Then the next track, the illest.
Ah, yes. With Aramis 616.
6, yep.
Like I said earlier, getting into hip hop, made a lot of friends. And Aramis 616, that is like my guy. That is like my next door neighbor. He's from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I actually met him like years ago. He's actually featured on my Looping the Third project. So I told him I'm putting together this all feature one. I had to get him like involved in it. So I sent him this one beat that kind of reminds me a little bit of P Rock with the piano loop. And I'm also proud of that dude. I mean, another talented producer himself.
Mm-hmm.
He actually mixed and mastered that track by himself. I did the rest. So like I'm so for that I'm grateful for him for doing that. So yeah, shout out to my man Aramis 616. Proud of you, man.
Dope. Track 4, Big Improvements with Kadesh Flow.
Yes, Kadesh Flow, one of Nerdcore's finest. I discovered him when I started getting into Nerdcore myself. We actually have a good friendship. A very very talented trombonist. He's actually more tight with K Murdoch, and that's actually how I found him through Kyle Murdoch. So big shout out to him. Another phenomenal MC.
Dope.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the Creative Mind Frame feature on CTH.
Yes, catch these hands. Once again, shout out to K Murdoch. He actually put me onto Creative Mind Frame like a few years ago. I mean, like this guy is another phenomenal MC. Also a very very talented musician. Plays the saxophone like nobody's business. I mean, he is like really really good. And when I put this beat together, I took the sample from an old video game. Not gonna name what it is though, but once he heard it, like he told me he knew exactly what to do, and and again, really, really, I'm proud of him for that result, with the end result.
Nice.
And also, I'm sorry. I
No,
also want to give a shout out to Goswell Ugwa from That's Dope Entertainment for the drop at the end. A really really good friend of mine who I just decided to add some drops to the album.
Mm-hmm. Then you had track 6, New Heights, featuring Symphonic Phoenix Force. This is one of my favorite tracks right here.
Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Okay, the story behind that one, I actually made that beat probably 3 years ago. It was just like I'm sitting on my computer, like I don't know what to do with it, because me personally, I love the beat that came of it, and it kind of reminded me of like the track says, you're trying to elevate yourself, going to a new level. So I asked one of the members, Felonious Funk, to see if his crew to get on this track, and they all agreed. And once some Bill Beast came in with the cuts at the end, I was like, that's it. This has to be the first single. I'm really, really, and I was really, really proud with this track.
Nice. Metal Wings Waltz with Gross Angel.
Okay. Another another good track who I okay, for this one actually Kyle didn't recommended me through. Actually, one of the members from Symphonic Phoenix Force actually recommended me I send this track to him. He heard it, and he asked me he asked me if the beat reminded him of Gundam, and I told him, yeah, it does, because that's where the sample came from. It came from Gundam. But I'm not gonna say which Gundam it is. Just know it's from Gundam. And then he said, "Cool, bet, I got it." And then he pretty much did his thing, and I really like that vocal clip from the beginning because that's also from Gundam. If people know, they know. So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Track 8, To the Moon with On Hobbs.
Okay. Again, going back to my oldest friends. This was back when I told myself any release I have to get an Ann Hobbs feature on this on this project because that's my guy. When I put the sample together, okay, I will say the sample is from a video game. Again, not gonna name what it is, but I really liked how I chopped it up and actually put the arrangement together. So when he heard it, it kind of reminded him of, yo, this sounds like I'm in space. I got the idea for it. So then a few weeks later, he sent it back to me, and it was like incredible. And then also shout out to shoot, to my man DJ Goonie Oogaloo for the cuts. I really enjoyed the cuts he added at the end. For this track.
Next track 9, that was Got Your Back, featuring Johnny Five the Philosopher and Grayson.
Okay, those two. Actually, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Grayson first because he is to me one of Nerdcore's best MCs. So shout out to him. A few years ago, he asked me to make a beat for a Gundam Wing cipher. Actually, you know what? I can send it to you later. Anyway, later.
Okay.
I mean, I really like how it turned out because both Grayson and Johnny Five are on that cipher. So when I was putting this track together, I kind of asked him yo, can you and Johnny get on this? And he was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So then and I didn't even know Johnny started the track. I thought it was gonna be Grayson starting the track, but then when you told me it's about have your friends back no matter what the odds are, and I was like, yo, I like it. I'm gonna go with it. And also, shout out to one of your previous guests, Tone Spliff, man. Those cuts he did on that track, oh man, it was perfect. So shout out to Tone Spliff, man, and shout out to Grayson and Johnny Five, phenomenal MCs.
Yeah, that track came together nicely. That's another one of my favorites. And Tone Spliff is always precise with his cuts.
Yes, he is.
Track 10 with Swell Rel, that's Bloodthirsty.
Yeah, okay. This is another beat I kind of did a year before. And yes, I know it sounds a little dark, and Swell Rel pretty much did his thing it Loki sounds like a horror movie. I mean, I don't think that was my original intent, but he kind of saw it that way, and I was like, okay, that sounds good. And also shout out to my man Pimpernel Jones for for the cuts he pretty much did most of the majority of the cuts on this album. So I have to thank you for recommending him to me. So shout out to him and you, Wiki.
Always trying to, make that connection
I appreciate that.
Definitely. Track 11, T Swift.
Okay, this is a really really funny story. So one of the features Reason, I told him and Darius Rhodes to just spit whatever you want. Do like a
Mhm.
go back and forth like Jadakiss and Styles P. So he kind of told me this one funny story of Taylor Swift coming into Reason's hometown of Pittsburgh and pretty much shutting down the entire like block. And like so just like how the track starts, like he says, "Fuck the Taylor Swift concert." I was
Mhm.
like, "Wow, really?" And I asked him, "Did that really happen?" And he said, "Yes." And so I was trying to find a title for this track because I usually let the artists like title the tracks themselves.
Okay.
I would like title it somewhat, but if they can't come up with a title, I'll try to put in something. But I usually like let the feature artists just spit whatever they want, title the tracks whatever they want.
Mhm.
I'll accept whatever they come up with.
Okay.
So that's why I call the track T Swift. But even though it's not about Taylor Swift, I just called it that because that's the first thing you hear when the track starts. Yeah.
Then we got Yonkers' own Relly Rells and Only One Ronin on Destroy and Rebuild.
Shout out to my man Relly Rells. Um, yeah. Again, shout out to Novelist. Found him through the Discord that we're part of.
Yep.
Amazing MC. I mean, this dude is really, really good with his lyrics. And also shout out to my man Only One Ronin, who I found through Grayson because of that Gundam Wing cipher. So pretty much some of these features that I brought into my project is like some of my past relationships. Like going back to Kadesh Flow. He was
Mhm.
also on the Gundam Wing cipher. I think I sent that to you.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah,
gotta hear that.
okay. But yeah, like shout out to my man Rels, man, and Only One Ronin. They just like killed that track. Like when after when I put that track together, I just pretty much send Rels like most of the beats you heard on this album. So once you heard that one,
Mhm.
like I asked him, "Yo, what's the track about?" And he told me, you destroy something and you make something new out of it. So that's why we got Destroy and Rebuild. And I kind of like how it came out because it kind of sounds like a wasteland, like Mad Max,
Mhm.
kind of that, with that vibe, you know.
Then on track 13, you had Bend the Spoon with Novelist.
Man, oh man. Now to me, that's my personal favorite track because I've been wanting to work with the microphone Hokage for a long, long time. I actually, and honestly, man, I still feel bad when I say this. Around like a few years ago, him and Clear Soul Forces came to my city, Columbus, Ohio, for a hip hop festival,
Mhm.
and they performed. But unfortunately, I missed their set. I mean,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
I managed to get a picture, but it was really, really bad. And then probably I think 2 years later, when Nav went solo, he came to the same festival again.
Mhm.
He did a set, but once again, I missed his set. But I managed to take a picture with them, so I'll take that as a memento. But Nav, this is me telling you, if please come back to Columbus, Ohio, and do a show. I promise you, I will be there. I will record you. I just want to see you perform live, bro. Please. But yeah, Bend the Spoon. Yeah, that's probably my favorite track because I've had that track for almost like sitting for like 5 years, and I've been wanting to like work with novelists for like a long time. At least get a feature.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to find the right track for him. So once I had that, so once he said he was down for a feature, I was like, okay, let me try to see if I can find this beat. And luckily, since I don't delete anything, I still had it. Had to like update it a little bit, and then that was it. I'm just so glad I actually got a novelist feature. I mean, I was like so happy with that, and so happy he actually was down to do it. So shout out to the microphone Hokage, man.
Yeah,
Salute to you.
man. You talking about that right now? That's like the bucket list.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, like, hey, man. To me, he's like one of the best MCs out right now. I'm pretty sure any
Agreed.
producer that's real hot would kill to have a feature with him. He's just so good. All right. Let's see what else.
Track 14, Dynamic Opposites with Cosmic Crusader.
Ah, yes. Cosmic Crusader from Lost Children of Babylon, Philadelphia's own.
Yep.
Huh. I've been a fan of Lost Children of Babylon for a long time. And that was because I've heard of them because of Jedi Mind Tricks.
Mind Tricks, yep. Mm-hmm.
So when they went solo, and when I caught their first album, it was like incredible. I've never heard like a hip hop album like this. It was very spiritual. I mean, like, oh, man, each in one of those tracks, I just felt like my mind was being open.
Mm.
I felt like I was going into like a new spiritual plane or something. But that group is like incredible. And so when I was lucky to actually get a feature from one of them, I was like, yo, is this crazy? Can I actually do this? Can I actually get a feature from some of my favorite MCs and make a dope track with them? And I was like, wow, this is like, honestly, this is just fun. I mean, this is like really fun.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Cosmic Crusader and all of Lost Children of Babylon. Y'all are legends. Please keep doing what you're doing.
Then you had I call this the bossy track. White Lotus, Versatilla, Jewel Unique, and Seraph God.
Ah, okay. Yes. I am a big fan of Cypher. I am a big fan of ciphers. I love ciphers. I've known Seraph God for a long time, and probably a year later, I actually became friends with White Lotus thanks to Facebook. Facebook has its goods and its bads, but
Yeah,
it's
they all do.
Yeah, but I'm like grateful for those two because I'm really good friends with White Lotus and Seraph God.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, White Lotus himself, he's like an incredible producer. I mean, he worked with some of the members from Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, like, are you kidding me? That's like nuts. So he actually put me in touch with Versatilla and Jewel Unique, also phenomenal MCs. And like I said, I've been wanting to do a posse cut for a long time, and I'm probably going to do. Okay, this is probably an exclusive, but I probably might be doing another posse cut for my next all feature album. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, but shout out to
there you go.
Yeah, so shout out to all four of those men, man. Amazing individuals, incredible talent.
Dope. Now, before you answer for track 16, as the gear turns, featuring Cryptic One,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta ask, did
Yes.
this, because I remember you took a picture with him and you went to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how this came to be?
Nah, actually, I asked him before I took a picture with him.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, sure, Cryptic One. I mean, what can I say, man? Adam's Family,
Mm-hmm.
one of the most iconic, legendary underground hip hop groups of all time from New York. I mean, the fact that I can actually say I'm actually cool with Cryptic One, the Cryptic One, is like, wow. is incredible. But yeah, man, yeah, yeah. So one day I was like, I just went on his page, contacted him. I said, "What's up, yo? I'm a big fan of your work. I have your first solo album, The Anti-Mobius Strip Theory, phenomenal album. You have to check it out. Big fan of what you did with Cannibal Ox.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
And it,
I was just like a big fan of Adam's Family. And so when he said he was cool to do a feature for me, I was like, yo, that's like I'm like jumping over the moon. I'm like really fucking psyched. And I was like really excited for that. And again, I didn't have a title for it, so you know what? I guess that fuck it. I'll just call it As the Gear Turns. And then he did his thing, and then that was it. Also, shout out to DJ Bombeardo, Columbus's own, for the cuts for the chorus. So yeah, shout out to Adam's Family and Cryptic One.
yeah. Mm. And the final track, On the Grind.
Yep.
This is all you.
Yep, all me. And I actually had this idea after listening to well, actually, let's scratch that. I've had this idea for a while now because of Fun Crusher Plus's last track. Oh my god, Fun Crush Scratch. Okay, yeah. I've wanted to end the track, just an instrumental with cuts. Again,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to Tone Spliff for that. And yeah, lots and lots of cuts on this album because, like I said earlier, DJs are my favorite element of hip hop ever. Because let's be honest, if it wasn't for the DJs, there'd be no hip hop. I'm just gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah.
And also,
There it is.
and also what I also keep saying what Rocket Hour Science from Dilated People says: the backbone of hip hop is the DJ. And so I just wanted to keep that tradition going. I mean, because and I told myself if I started doing these compilation albums, I'm gonna have DJ cuts on it. Like no matter what, I gotta hear some scratching on this. Because to me, I hate to say it, it's kind of like a lost art form, and I really don't want to see it go away. I really don't.
Nah, it's not going away. I mean, I listen to a lot of hip hop music. It's not in the forefront of mainstream music or major label music, but trust me, it's still out there. You have a perfect example on As the Gear Turns with the DJs that are on here. You got other DJs out there like DJ John Doe still doing his thing. You got the Beat Junkies with members D Styles, Rhapmatic still laying out cuts on tracks. Qbert still doing his thing.
Shout out to Qbert.
DJ TMB out in I believe the UK. DJ Swab from Denmark. I mean, I could go on. I mean, they're still lacing hip hop tracks in 2023, so it's still there. Like I said, it's just not on the mainstream hip hop that we're hearing.
And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. I mean, like I always pictured hip hop as kind of like an underground thing,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like with anime. I mean, like yes, it's cool that like anime is like in the forefront now, but back then, like when I was into it, like I didn't have too many friends that was into anime, but when I did find friends, it was like our own thing, like our own personal thing, like one thing that that connected us. Now that everybody's into anime, it's kind of like okay, but kind of like with hip hop though. I mean, like I like hip hop right now, but we should not forget its roots. I don't mind evolving at all, but don't forget how it started, where we came from. That's why we celebrated the 50th anniversary this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, in all, happy birthday, hip hop.
Yeah. And I think Hero said it properly before about, a lot of us that were watching anime before it was the cool, the in thing, the norm thing, and we were frowned upon. But look how great it was back then, and look how great it still is now.
Yep. I mean, we have like dope animation like right now, and even like anime is like in like the Thanksgiving Day parade. Even
Yeah.
though even though one character wasn't successful in this Thanksgiving Day parade, but yeah, it's it's still cool to see a major like thing that we grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone now knows about it, and
And
honestly, they can't make fun of us for it anymore
yeah,
about it.
and something that's considered American and is nationally televised.
Right.
Yep. But yeah, I thought, not to jump all over, but real quick, the
Mhm.
Thanksgiving parade is always hilarious because it always seems to be one of the coldest and windiest days, and there's always some type of mishap going on.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm. Huh, I never noticed that. I
they
mean, I
don't
just watch
always
it for
show it.
huh, I just watch it for the balloons, to be honest. But like,
Mhm.
I never noticed like any mishaps, except this year's. Hmm.
Yep. SteamBoi, um, you are, and you gotta really appreciate and hold on to this because it's not done as often the way you did it. On As the Gear Turns, and you mentioned it, you have a lot of artists that are perfect for your sound.
Thank
They're
you.
all encompassing that same type of circle. And to be able to get those same people on an album like that and then come out the way it did, it doesn't happen all the time like that. Sometimes people try and force it, just because it's this famous person and this famous person. They think because they have them on there, the track's going to be great. Don't always work like that.
Usually don't.
You actually, I mean, you did it. You are the maestro. And
Oh, stop.
no, it's not easy to get the right MCs over your production, especially when you have a concept in mind and track by track by track on here.
Well, actually, since you mentioned that, for this album, I didn't have a concept in mind. I mean, I just was making beats, just finding the right MC and just
Mm,
putting them together. I mean, there wasn't like a theme for this one like at all.
right.
I mean, like but my next compilation will have a theme. It will have like a connecting sound.
Mm,
This one kind of didn't because it's my first time doing it.
okay.
But now that I did it,
Yeah.
now I'm ready because
Mm,
because this is just a start. Like I'm
okay.
not going to stop doing this. I'm going to keep doing more of this.
Yeah. But I mean, knowing your production and the inspiration that comes behind your production, it meshes well with these MCs having that same like-minded interest. So that's really what I'm seeing how everything came to be.
Thank you, thank you, I appreciate it.
Dope, dope. SteamBoi from Columbus, Ohio. So much
Yes,
music coming out of that area.
yes. Shout out to my hometown hero, Blueprint. Shoot, funny man. I don't know what to say about that. About that dude. That dude is like a legend, and I've seen him so many times. Real quick, funny story. When I first heard him,
Hmm.
I thought the dude sounded white. I thought he was a white guy. Yeah, when I come to find out he's black, I was like, oh shit, I am so sorry. I mean, I didn't tell him that. I just said that in my head. I mean, he'll probably laugh if I did tell him that. But yeah, shout out to Blueprint, Illogic, Copyright,
Yeah, old maker. Yeah,
all of Megahertz. Yeah, just shout out to Columbus, Ohio, man. I mean,
yeah,
that's my home, man. We do
yeah.
have like really, really talented hip hop artists here, man. Shout out to my hometown, and shout out to all of them on Columbus hip hop.
Definitely, definitely. And I don't want to keep you much longer. Definitely appreciate you taking the time to speak, about your music and the album. But
Bro, I appreciate you. You actually I'm actually, this is my first time actually, doing this on like a big platform like yours.
okay.
So for
You sound
you
like
actually,
a natural.
yeah, so I appreciate you. So thank you.
I was gonna say we can't leave out DJ Abomination because you did 2 projects with him.
Yeah, yes, that's my guy. Actually, we did a third one. He just dropped a few months ago. Uh, Heck, it's been like so long ago. But just if you type in DJ Abomination, you'll find it. I kind of forgot the title, so I apologize. But yeah, shout out to my man DJ Abomination. We did do 2 projects together. Our first one, Path to the Devil Gene, which is basically a Tekken 3 beat tape, because Tekken 3 is my all-time favorite fighting game, my all-time favorite PlayStation game. That game just means so much to me. So then I asked him, yo, I dig your sound, want to do something together with Tekken 3? And he said, sure. And then that's it. And then after that, we just became like good friends. And then we dropped another album, just flipping anime music, Unlimited Chi.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a J-Lib one. He did a beat, I did a beat. We just went back and forth on it. But yeah, that's my guy. Shout out to DJ Abomination. Love you, dude.
Dope, man. So let the people know, where they can support you and where they can reach out to you.
Well, okay, so y'all can go to my Bandcamp, steambeats.bandcamp.com. Most of my music is there. I have an Instagram, SteamBoi_614.com. I'm sorry, SteamBoi_614. And then I have a Twitter. Yes, I'm calling it Twitter. I'm not calling it X. That's the fucking stupid name. I'm calling it that.
Nobody's gonna call it that.
Exactly. And it's basically SteamBoi614 on Twitter, not X. Yeah, so that's basically where y'all can hit me up.
Dope. Any shout outs before we go?
Hey man, shout out to all my features, all the DJs involved, and shout out to the people who listen to it and support what I do. And just know I'm not gonna stop. I'm going to keep coming with more stuff. I'm actually like in the works of putting together a new beat tape.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, 2 beat tapes, and then after that, I'm putting together my next all-feature album. But details on that will be like for next year, so be on the lookout for that.
Okay. You already have an idea for those beat tapes?
In fact, I do.
Okay.
One of them is a sequel to my Gearwork Volume 1. So Volume 2, that's next up, and the beat tape after that one is themed off of a video game.
Okay.
Can't really get into much details other than that, but just know it's off a video game, one of my favorites. So that's in the works.
All right. Dope. Ever consider using samples from Ninja Scroll?
What you mean, like the movie or like the soundtrack?
No, the soundtrack and the movie.
That hasn't caught my attention, but I might look into that. So thank you.
All right. On behalf of HHDG Media, we're gonna say peace.
Peace. You have a good one.